Hey, good evening. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous. I hope you're doing well this evening and are interested in getting some tools, tips, and some support and help as you go through the trauma of divorce. Let me just do one thing real quick. I'm not sure that you can hear me because I'm not sure where I have my audio. So forgive me. Up. Yep, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. Just wanted to make sure because I have actually completed a whole 10 minutes and then gone back and found that the mic was not connected. This is a test. I have a dog who on cue is barking for me to test the sound system. Not. So anyway, my name is Kathy Beatty, and I have been in the divorce work for the past 19, almost 20 years. And I've held support groups. I'm a divorce coach. I also became a domestic mediator about 14 years ago. And my goal here is to minimize the damage. That's what I always say. How do we minimize the damage going through divorce? Because damage is going to occur, cannot be helped, simply because we have become one and now the tearing is taking place, that we are no longer one, we are uncoupling. And so that process is very, very painful in many different ways. And if you think perhaps you're someone who is not feeling so much the pain right now, what happens many times, the people who are the ones to leave have done a lot of their grieving and working through the issues before they left the marriage. And for those of you who are left, often have not dealt with these things to the extent to those that have left have, if that makes sense. I've seen it far too many times. I know it is true. Wherever you are at, I want to come and help you in minimizing the damage. So that's the topic tonight, is minimizing the damage. And how we do that is, what are the best ways that we can use our attorneys? If we can use our attorney effectively, we're going to minimize a lot of the damage. Now, what often happens when someone goes through a divorce is they have a friend who tells them, I use this lawyer, or my cousin used this lawyer, use this lawyer. And so they jump into the attorney's office and they start vomiting everything that's happening. And what they are doing really is a true disadvantage to themselves, because you're expecting too much out of your attorney. You're expecting them to be your therapist, your financial advisor, your legal advisor, maybe even your emotional advisor, your spiritual advisor. And that's not what attorneys do. They are lawyers and they deal with the law. So I want to talk to you tonight the best ways to use your attorney so you can minimize some of the damage of going through this divorce. Before I jump into this topic, let me just state, just started a hybrid group, a support group. Oh, excuse me. A support group on January 14th, and it's not too late for you to jump in, connect with me, get a registration form, have a conversation with me, find out how this can be very, very helpful to you. For those of you who are further along in your divorce, on March 25th, I am going to start the next section, which is building your life after divorce. For many people, they go through the 10 weeks of divorce support. We're done. They say, now what? And that's what this second session is. So I don't know where you're at. If you're beginning, then certainly you need the support. If you've been at it for a while, perhaps you need the March 15th, building your life after divorce. It's been a very busy day, and I was up far too early this morning, so forgive me for that attempt at a yawn there. So I want to give you 3 points, and I know that they will be helpful to you, especially for those of you who are just jumping in to the process of divorce. Number 1 is prepare. Don't go running into your attorney's office just yet. Just yet. Number 1 is you can get this free download from me, which is Seeing Your Attorney for the First Time Preparation Mediation Guide. to save you money in the attorney's office. This is going to help you prepare. You just have to request it. Give me your email. I send it to you. I don't follow up. I simply send it to you as a tool to use to help get you organized as you're going through this process. Doesn't matter if you're the one who's leaving or the one who left. So connect with me for that free download. It's going to be very, very helpful to you as you start preparing for this process. Now, another way that you can prepare, and is mentioned in the workbook, but I'll state it again here because it's really, really important. I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to put 3 columns on it. And I want you to know what is most important to you. What's the most important to you? And I want you to list that. And then I want you to take another sheet of paper with the same 3 columns, and I want you to list personal property. What's the most important to you? List that on the first column. The second column, what are those things that you're ambivalent about? You know, if I keep the lawnmower, great. If I don't, I can get a new lawnmower, or maybe I'm moving into a condo and won't need a lawnmower. So the third column is, what are those things you know you don't want? You know you don't want the dirt bike that your husband and your kids have been riding. You know that. So those 2 sheets of paper are really going to help you in your mind process what's important to you. What are those things that's important to you? What are those things that aren't important to you? Because what happens when you go into the mediation room is you're going to be fighting for things that at the end you really don't care about. Why? Because you haven't organized your thoughts. Now, you can do this certainly with your attorney, but if you're wanting to use and have best practices on how to use an attorney, then you can do this on your own, and you're not being charged $450 an hour to do it. So in using this workbook and also in creating these documents is going to prepare you so when you do go into the attorney's office, you're ready. I've completed the forms. I've got all my documents. I've got a list of what's important to me. Now, is it going to be perfect? No, but it's going to help you formulate an idea of what is important to you and what is not. Prepare. Secondly, seek advice from your network of experts. We talk about this a lot in group. Who are those people? There's a therapist. Maybe you've never gone to a therapist before in your life. Trust me, you need one now. Don't go through, that's one of my mottos, don't go through divorce alone. Get the therapist. Get the financial advisor. There are people who will sit down with you for free and talk to you about your situation. And many people are not knowledgeable about their finances. Many people, primarily women, but not always. Sometimes the women handle all the finances and the men are in the dark. Doesn't matter. Sit down with a good financial advisor, not one who's trying to sell you something, but someone who's going to work with you and educate you. You need a teacher type, not a salesman type. So the therapist, you're going to sit down with a financial advisor, your pastor, if you are a person of faith. Even if you're not a person of faith, you are needing some spiritual guidance. Take the plunge. And you know, it always amazes me, the people that enter, they're total strangers. They enter my group, 10, 15 people who've never met before. And now all of a sudden they're coming together and they are learning. So I know it takes courage to go into a pastor's office or a financial person's office or a therapist's office, but it is well worth what you are going to gain from it. Okay? And then, of course, I want you to join a support group. I want you to have a divorce coach, someone who's going to walk alongside you, is going to help you. What I do as a divorce coach is I help you formulate the questions to ask the attorney. And it's very helpful. I listen to your emotions, my background. is in counseling. So I'm listening and working through your emotions with you and helping you to formulate the right questions to ask your attorney. And trust me, I charge a sliver of what an attorney does. And so when you go into your attorney's office, you are prepared. You have walked through a lot of this. You have bounced ideas off of your divorce coach, or at least a knowledgeable friend, not your best friend probably, but your most knowledgeable friend. Get the advice from your network of experts. And the next one is a hard one, and it's a harsh one. And it sounds very cold, but it's very true. Divorce is a business transaction, except for the children. I'm putting the children and the co-parenting aside, but the rest of it is a business transaction. And so if you can use your attorney and go into your mediation with a business sense, your business hat on, you are going to do far better than if you go in as an emotional wreck trying to punish the other person for what they have done to you. And you're not going to get there overnight. If there is betrayal and adultery and all those things in the mix of this divorce, you're not going to suddenly go into a business transaction and have your head on straight. Absolutely not. You're human. That's why you need your network of experts to be dealing with. So let me just repeat it. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Do all that you can in preparation. And if you need help doing that, then get your network of experts. But I'm focusing on how to use your attorney in the best way. So I want you to do as much preparation as you can before you go into the attorney. Get the advice of experts. Realize that divorce is a business transaction. If you can get that mindset, and I know it sounds so cold, but you're going to need that mindset when you go into the mediation and when you go in to consult with your attorney. It is going to serve you so well. And if you need to fall apart and break down, that's what your therapist is for. That's what your support group is for, not your attorney. Okay? Found some wonderful verses. Most of them, I have 4 verses here, and 3 of them are from Proverbs. No surprise. Proverbs is the book of wisdom. And we only help ourselves when we pay attention to them, to the Proverbs. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Wisdom is priceless right now. Discernment is priceless right now. Get wisdom. Now, the one who has all of the wisdom in the world is God the Father. So that's part of the spiritual matter of divorce. You need to be seeking wisdom and discernment. This is a spiritual thing as well as a knowledge thing. Where there is strife, there is pride, but wisdom is found in those who take advice. There's pride somewhere in this mix. Whether it's you, whether it's the other person, wisdom is found in those who take advice. So if you perhaps are a CEO or someone who runs a company in high management or in a position of authority, it may be really difficult for you to humble yourself to seek out advice. But I want to just encourage you to do it. There are people who are brain surgeons, who are brilliant people that cannot maneuver going through divorce because it's not their expertise, it's not their world. Take the humble step of getting the advice. And this one I love simply because we need to realize all of man's wisdom is great, but it can never, ever surpass the one who holds wisdom and gives wisdom, For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom. If there would be any foolishness, there is not. But First Corinthians is trying to make the point. Even if there were foolishness with God, it would far exceed human wisdom. The weakness of God, though there is none, is stronger than human strength. So why wouldn't we go to the ultimate source of wisdom and strength? It would only be because of pride. Again, humble yourself to seek the wisdom. Another Proverbs, there's so many good Proverbs. I just grabbed a few. Fools give full vent to their rage, but wise bring calm in the end. Fools give full vent to their rage. They are just spewing their anger, but the wise bring calm in the end. And calm and confidence in this situation is not going to come by itself. It is going to require that you seek out the assistance, the help of others. I'm here for you. I don't charge for my first hour of consultation. So if you want to talk to me for an hour, I'm all ears. But don't go through divorce alone. And use your attorney wisely so that the financial advantage comes to you instead of an attorney. I hope this has been of help. I hope I can be a further help. So reach out to me if you would like. And my name again is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous, walking with you every step of the way through the trauma and after the trauma of divorce. Good evening.